Today I've got the original I Ching Oracle. It's the translation by Rudolf Ritsema and Shantena, Augusto, Sabbadini. This is by far my favorite translation of the I Ching. I'll give you some more detail about that in a moment. First of all, let me show you the book itself. This is the hardcover edition. It's available as a paperback as well. And the dust cover is quite nice. It's of reasonable quality. I've had this for about 10 years actually, so you can get an idea of what the book looks like with moderate use. Here we go. Under the dust cover you have an okay cloth bound cover. The back is quite lovely with this golden stamp. There we go. It's the Watkins edition. There we are. The red end papers, of course. And then the first thing that you get is the trigrams. So when you're casting, because it's an oracle, if you don't know that the I Ching is a Chinese oracle, I guess it's the Chinese equivalent of the tarot, and the way you cast it is either using yarrow stalks, where you just pull one out and you see which hexagram you pulled, or by flipping coins. So you take 3 coins and heads are worth 3 points and tails are worth 2 points. So the minimum that you can get is 6, and the maximum that you can get is 9. So depending on the result that you get, you build up your hexagram little by little. And so this is the upper trigram and then the lower trigram. So you look, if you've got this as the lower trigram and say this as the upper trigram, you can have a look, and that's number 13, and then you can look up result number 13, which is the very one that that I've skipped here. Here we are. Okay, so then it gives you the image of the situation. Now, what I particularly like about this is that it doesn't just give you the image of the situation. Because it's a translation from the Chinese, it's obvious that the Chinese word concording has got different connotations from the English word concording. And so over here it gives you everything that is associated with the Chinese word tong, which is concording, and then it gives you every idea that is associated with the word, but also everything that the ideogram makes you think of as well. So it really gives you everything that you need to interpret your result. Then it tells you what is. So just like tarot is a story of one thing leading into another thing, which leads into another thing. So just in the same way, the hexagrams of the I Ching have got a preceding hexagram and a resulting hexagram. So this is in between 2 situations. So it gives you the situation itself, but it also tells you what situation came before it and what it's transforming into. So depending on whether you got a 6 or a 7 or an 8 or a 9, maybe it's going to be a regular yin line, or maybe it's going to be a yang line. But if it's a yin line, it might be a complete yin line, or it might be a very young yin line. Or if it's a yang line, it might be a complete yang line, or it might be a very old yang line. So it's that's just been transformed into what it is, or which is about to be transformed into its opposite. It's like breathing in and out, and there's the full out breath, but there's also the end of the out breath, which is about to become an in breath again. Okay, so that's generally the idea here. And depending on which line is transforming, you can then look at So if you got a 9 for the third line, you can read the interpretation of what's going on over here. So for each line, if it's an old line or a new line, you can go over here and check out the specific meaning for that particular line. So it's extremely complete, extremely precise, and it leaves nothing to doubt. It gives you every bit of information that you could possibly want, and I think it's great. I think it's a really, really good translation. There's a great introduction at the very beginning, which tells you about the philosophy of it, and gives you the techniques, the methods for casting your hexagrams. So all in all, this is a fantastic resource. It's so here's a picture of your yarrow stalk, which is one of the methods. If you've seen the Man in the High Castle, or read, even better, The Man in the High Castle, well, Philip K. Dick actually wrote The Man in the High Castle using the I Ching to find out what would happen next. And it's a very interesting story. And if you've seen the Amazon adaptation of that story, it's great, and they use the I Ching all the time, of course. Fascinating oracle, and it's many people have had a similar experience to mine. When you ask the same question twice, so this is what happened to me. I asked something and I didn't understand its result, which is unusual actually. Most of the time it's very clear in its result. But then I asked again, and its answer to me was basically told me off. It was something along the lines of, yeah, only the foolish child asks the same question twice. I mean, it was very, very precise, very, and it's got a funny sense of humor. I really, really like using the I Ching for as an oracle. It's very, very pleasant, very nice, and usually very honest and straight to the point. It's fascinating. In the back, you've got a concordance. There we go. Very, very complete concordance. Yeah, so for each word, where else that word is found. And then a couple of appendices. Come on. What do we have here? Bibliography. I'm afraid I don't know what this is. But I will take a little bit of time to look at that. That looks very interesting. Okay, and yeah, that pretty much covers it. So it's the Watkins edition of the original I Ching Oracle. Strong recommendation if you're looking for an I Ching. This is definitely the one that I recommend. Okay, thanks very much for watching. See you soon.